In a lush, green forest lived a tiny ant with her big family. She was known far and wide for being smart, hardworking, and always ahead of everyone. But as time went on, something in her heart began to change. Every time she watched the peacock spread his colorful feathers and dance, she sighed. "How beautiful he is! Everyone admires him. Why does no one notice me?" When she saw the butterfly fluttering freely through the air, she wished, "If only I had wings like hers. Why must I crawl on the ground?" Even the playful squirrel made her envious as he leaped from tree to tree. Slowly, jealousy took root in her heart. She no longer enjoyed her work. The ant who once worked the hardest now lagged behind, lost in gloomy thoughts. When others asked, "Why do you seem sad these days?" she only forced a smile and stayed quiet. One day, the forest was hit by a terrible storm. Winds howled, rivers overflowed, and trees were torn from their roots. The butterfly's delicate wings became soaked and heavy. She couldn't fly. The squirrel's home fell apart, leaving her cold and scared. Even the proud peacock, with all his beauty, stood helpless as his feathers hung drenched and dull. But deep underground, the ants were safe. Their well-built tunnels kept them warm and dry. Seeing the suffering around her, the little ant's heart ached. "I wasted so much time wishing to be like them," she thought. "Now they're the ones in need. Maybe I can help." She quickly gathered her colony. "Friends," she said, "let's help our forest neighbors. We're small, but together we can make a difference." Hundreds of ants marched out in neat lines. Some carefully carried the butterfly to a dry spot. Others gathered leaves to build a bed for the shivering squirrel. A few helped clean the peacock's feathers so he could lift his head again. The forest animals were amazed. How could such tiny creatures have such giant hearts? When the storm finally ended and sunlight returned, the peacock, butterfly, and squirrel came to thank the ant. The peacock said, "I've never seen a beauty greater than yours." The squirrel added, "You showed me that real strength lies not in what we show, but in what we give." The butterfly smiled softly. "You may not fly, but you lifted us all. That makes you the greatest of us." For the first time, the little ant felt proud of herself. She no longer wished to be someone else. She had discovered her true purpose, to use her gifts for good. From that day forward, she stopped comparing and started believing. She learned that every creature is made special in its own way. Jealousy blinds us to our own strengths, while kindness helps us see our true value. Real greatness doesn't come from beauty, wings, or strength. It comes from a loving heart and the courage to help others. Even the smallest among us can become mighty when filled with compassion. If this story touched your heart today, share it with someone who needs a reminder. Being small doesn't make you weak. Having a big heart makes you truly great.